What is up, investors? Jason here. So it does not get any more sideways with Bitcoin than it is right now. Now, usually we were always just used to seeing Bitcoin fluctuate in prices where would you see it go 1 hour $1,000 up or down, or $2,000 up or down, $3,000 up or down. That was very common to see when we were seeing Bitcoin in these bull rallies. But now we're seeing this sideways trading, now trending around like seeing it where we look at the last 24 hours. From right now, we're seeing Bitcoin go from $40,500 to staying within $1,000 price range through a whole 24 hours is something that is very rare that you would see. And the thing here is that over these last few days, we've been seeing Bitcoin trending so sideways that it's just trying to hang out around that $41,000, $42,000 price. Now we're getting ready to finish the first quarter of 2022. Now, every quarter, we see something a little bit different within the movements of the price of Bitcoin and Ethereum and the entire crypto market in general. Just like the stock market, just like how we see the stock market perform, we see similarities within what the crypto market does. And these are things that we should be more bullish on, especially as we've been seeing the market act a little bit better. I'm referring to the stock market act a little bit better. And I wouldn't be surprised we don't see some of this, move into the crypto market. Now, of course, we have these geopolitical issues that are affecting, everything all the way around. And these are very sad times as far as what's going on in the world. Now, I can be as bullish as I want within the price of Bitcoin. But at the same time, I do have to keep in mind, just like everybody does, that these geopolitical issues can definitely really, change the course of the entire market, especially when we have somebody so unpredictable causing a lot of these issues. So if we were to not really compress that too much and talk too much about that, but instead talk about other things as far as where we have come with crypto and what we just recently gotten over. Like I've said, and as you guys know, the Biden crypto bill, the EU's at the time when they're talking about banning proof-of-stake cryptocurrencies, these different things we've recently gotten over. Now, those things we could be very bullish on, and I'm sure the market would have acted more bullish with that news. But of course, we still have the news of the invasion that has happened in Europe and how that is affecting the market all the way around. Now, to just get into the price of Bitcoin, though, and talk more about the consolidation and what we're seeing, as well as Ethereum, and dive in a little bit more in the entire market. So as we get to it, if you don't mind, please do me a huge favor. Please be sure to smash the story on Natalie or gently press that like button. Help me out with the algorithm. Help spread the content to more people that might find it interesting. And subscribe if you have not already. So looking at Bitcoin per quarter, we're going to get a good idea about what the price of Bitcoin has done. Now, we're going to go all the way back to the last quarter of 2020 because this was a time that we had seen the price of Bitcoin really shift significantly and put us into this current area of Bitcoin being around 30,000 up to around as high as close to 70,000. That really kick-started at the fourth quarter of 2020, where we had seen the price of Bitcoin go from around 10,000 at the beginning of that quarter and end at a price around $28,000. So Bitcoin was really bullish at that time, and it continued trending up into the first quarter of 2021. Now, the thing is that as we had started each new quarter, we had seen noticeable movements within the price, and a lot of this is having to do with balance sheets of institutions that are invested into Bitcoin. And the thing is, we can really tell how Bitcoin has been manipulated from this point. Now, looking at the first quarter of 2021, we really saw a big shift in the price of Bitcoin as it continued to trend up. But then as we got into that second quarter of 2021, what had happened? It had reached a new all-time high, but then it quickly got bearish. We saw a dramatic drop within the price of Bitcoin in May of 2021. And this was during that time that the talks of El Salvador adopting Bitcoin as its currency, that was during this time. That had happened then. And the price of Bitcoin had gotten a lot more bearish at that time. And you can really tell what is going on with the market. And this was due to significant selling off of Bitcoin during that time. Then we had seen Bitcoin find a new bottom as it was ending that second quarter and going into that third quarter. we had seen Bitcoin consolidate a lot during that time. But then as we had gotten into that third quarter of 2021 and we got into the month of October, we had seen a massive rally with Bitcoin. So as just pretty much right as we had started that fourth quarter of 2021, Bitcoin went in this insane rally, right, just like clockwork, right on the first. It really just shifted directions and just went up to an all new high. And then as we were ending that quarter, well, what happened? The price of Bitcoin shifts and it starts to get more bearish. And then just to assume that this first quarter of 2022, we're going to end somewhere around the price of $42,000. We can see that we've been on this downward trend. Now, there, of course, there's been a lot of things thrown at Bitcoin during this time, not just geopolitical issues, but the Biden crypto bill. People were bearish on what could happen there. The EU talking about banning proof-of-work cryptocurrencies. There was a lot of things going on with cryptocurrencies during this first quarter. And then, of course, these geopolitical issues is really throwing a big wrench at the entire markets. And I'm saying markets, plural, because the stock market has really taken a beating this first quarter of 2022. Now, the thing here, though, is looking at this consolidation that we've been on. We've been on this consolidation that it keeps consolidating and tightening up, just like we had seen the last time back in the first and second quarter of 2021, where Bitcoin had reached an all-time high at that time. When it had consolidated in that second quarter, it stayed there for a while. It stayed consolidating for a while, but it didn't drop again after it had consolidated. What happened? It went on a big rally. It went on that big rally that got us to that all-time high. And so that's what I think we're going to see now. I think that everything that's going on in the world right now is priced into the market. And we have so much manipulation within the market. And it's been staying bearish because of this manipulation of what the markets are doing. But like I said, like clockwork, when we do see a shift within the new quarters, then we see things get either more bearish or more bullish. So as we got into this first quarter of 2022, it got a lot more bearish. But as we had gotten into the fourth quarter of 2021, it got a lot more bullish. So these are things to pay attention to, the signs of what has happened here. And if you just look at it, if you look at from the beginning of those quarters to the end of those quarters, you can really get a good idea of what is happening. Now, due to the manipulation of the institutions, I think this next quarter that we're getting into is going to have a significant amount of buying of Bitcoin. And I say this just because there has been a large amount of selling off of Bitcoin, and it has found its price and it has been trading sideways. And comparing to where Bitcoin was at a high in that May of 2021, where at that time, it had reached the high, and then it had fallen and found a new bottom, and then where it had gone on a new rally, it had found a much higher high than the previous one, and then it had found a higher bottom. I think that when we have this next run, I think that we're going to see the price of Bitcoin going to a price $10,000 more than it was on its previous rally that it had back in November. But of course, there's so many things that are in the way here that can change the price of this. But I think that as we get into this next quarter, when we get a large amount of buying activity within Bitcoin, as more institutions are putting it on their balance sheet, now these same patterns are the same thing with Ethereum. So the beginning of the fourth quarter, 2021, beginning of October 1st, that is when we saw the direction of Ethereum also change, go in this big consolidated rally, moving up. And then what did we see? We saw as we were ending that quarter, as December was coming to an end, then we started to see things shift over in the price of Ethereum and things get more bearish as we had gone into the new year. And we've continued to trade sideways, just like we had with Bitcoin. So a lot of this, all the same manipulation goes on with Ethereum, and it also manipulates the entire crypto market in general, because all the altcoins are following what Bitcoin and Ethereum are doing. So following these quarterly trends and the institution buying and selling that they're doing to enhance their balance sheet and to also make their investors happy, a lot of that manipulation goes into the price of Bitcoin and Ethereum. And for that, I think that we're going to see a really good second quarter for the crypto market. Now, don't quote me on that. Anything could change, but that's where I'm currently at right now. That's just my opinion. I like to hear what you guys think. So with that being said, please like, share, comment, subscribe. New content coming out all the time. Thank you guys for watching and listening. See you in the next one.